光る雲風をさいて翼のように夢を描くよ時代静止進む空宝という情探しに行こう島の影鋼の帆で希望を揺らして海賊の笑顔自由の証今日もごちそう仲間と笑顔揺れるコンパス胸が
Hello, we're on our Fabula Ultima bullshit again. So,
whoa, shitting away.
Yep, right from the start. Now, since I just realised I accidentally closed all my game notes, can someone do a recap while I find them?
Thou has found love.
Well, we landed on the island where they had all the baths and stuff. And the drains were clogged by something. Eventually, as people were going around the baths and stuff, some got attacked by a tentacle. Others found their gear missing. And then we eventually tracked it down to the under sewers where there was a blob monster that was stealing people's stuff and assaulting people from the pipes. And we were able to talk it down and get it to give up our stuff. And now they're in jars waiting for me to take them to some new island where they'll be safe and happy and not bother people. Without violence, or much violence anyway. And so we're sort of a fresh start of whatever we're going to do.
Wow. I think we ended with there being louder gurgling from deeper in the
No, because you had the mother. You had the mother.
Oh, that's right.
All right, so the mom hadn't shown up yet, and Quinn was about to spend a Fabula point to convince the mother to go into the jar.
Yeah. And she did. So we have two jars. Okay. One with the younger one with the mother.
Well, the did actually didn't happen yet, but that's why you're spending the Fabula point.
Yeah, it did. That was right at the end.
That's fine.
No, believe me, that we didn't get to that point.
Yes, we did.
Well, with him being able to talk and having plenty of Fabula points to throw around, that's fine. Yes.
Yay!
Just means we got these big, strange creatures in jars sitting on the deck of the ship.
Yes, weird goop in jars. Weird. Yeah, you've got someone's bathwater in jars.
Well, I was wondering how many drain babies we had in jars.
You had one critter and the mother monster.
We know that the slime was in June's bath area first, so probably that's June's bath water.
So you just need to slap a label on it and sell it to the first pervert you can come across, and then they're in for a horrible surprise.
So after we get the things them on the ship and that, do we have time to clean up and before we head off?
Yeah. You can all clean up, and you can all have a Fabula point back. You can all be
Wait,
fit
what
and
do you mean
healthy.
head off? Wait. There's lots of stuff we could still be doing here.
Like,
Well,
Relaxing and making friends and, stuff.
he doesn't want to leave Nuru behind.
it sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, well, it is.
Well, let's see.
So I want
That
to
was
spend
all
a Fabula point so that Nuru in the end thinks I'm a little endearing and not actually obnoxious, and maybe someday I'll grow up enough to be interested in.
The Anakin approach. Now you must turn to the dark side. Star stuff, bubble slime. No, there's no other real adventure fodder here, so yes, you're free to move on. But yes, Nuru, you seek out Nuru before you leave. She's busy working because since the slime monster has been gotten rid of, business is starting to pick up straight away. Because they put out the word that all the weird shenanigans had stopped. But yes, she stops by, tells you you're very sweet and to come back in like 5 years or so.
Absolutely.
And gives you a little bamboo steamer box with some bao buns in it.
Oh,
When he's not yell bait.
Yes.
So are our health points and MP points back before we
Yes, everything can come back because we're going to do a little time jump before we carry on.
And I gotta go somewhere to get IP points.
Yes, everyone should have.
Oh yeah, we were so we had accumulated to 12.
Yeah.
We were 7, then
Which brings
5.
us down to 2.
Right.
And we leveled
and
up.
so all I've done is boosted my tinker skill of visionary 1 more. So I now have visionary 4.
What's our current level?
11.
11.
11. Wow.
11 with 2 extra experience points.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to
So if you need-
We're not able. Are we able to or not refresh our inventory points?
Yes, as long as you spend the money, you can refresh your inventory here. But yeah, if you want to take the opportunity to level up, while we bore our viewers to tears while we do that, that's now is an opportune time.
How much Zen does it cost to raise your inventory points up? Is it 100?
10 per.
Okay, 10 per.
Oh, wait. See, man, you shouldn't have said a word, and then I wouldn't have doubted myself.
No, it's 10 per point.
That's
Okay.
all right. I was like, oh, was it? Is it actually?
Minus 30.
Does anyone need to do anything to level up?
Nope.
Mine was real straightforward.
I do.
Yeah, Dracon looks beefier than before. He's
Level 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Dracon's grown because I put my points into increasing his level.
It's all those fish
cool.
he ate from the pools. So all that annoying the staff who were trying to fish was worth it.
Yeah.
It's bulked up. Hey Wolfen, I thought I sent you an invite. I guess I didn't. I will send you an invite. I sent it to the wrong person. Hopefully, random person doesn't show up.
Random person wondering what you're sending him.
Yeah. Where's my book? Wrong book.
Do you need me to look something up for you?
No, I picked up the Machinations book and it said Stalker, and I went, no, that's the wrong book. Nothing about stalking going on in this.
Oh, you have the Stalker diceless game? I have that too.
No. There's just a trait. There was just a random word
Oh.
as I was looking up and just went, no, that word is not anywhere in the other book.
Hello, all.
Hello.
Hello.
Ooh.
Yeah, I added dual shield as my level up, so I need to track down another shield.
Oh, I'll make you one. I can build you one. What do you want it to do?
Oh, I just need a normal shield, preferably runic.
Oh, I don't do normal.
Oh, okay. Well, surprise me then.
Oh, whoa. All right, what are you again? Who's your character? Remind me. You're the Guardian?
Yeah, I'm the Guardian.
Dual-wielding Guardian. All right, let me look.
Which one of the characters was the shadow Elric type character? Because I can't remember. Was it your character, Wolfen?
No, I'm the tank basically.
Oh, I could have swore we had some kind of dark magic powered character for some reason.
Well, I am a revenant, so yeah, I can make my stuff dark powered if I choose.
Okay.
Yeah, we
That's
also
what I was
had
confused
somebody that could use dark rage or something like that. That was the rogue.
Because there's the dark blade class, and I thought maybe one of us had that. But nope, just a revenant.
We better get going soon because Quinn's going to start causing trouble if we don't.
You're gonna fly away and do something random.
But is everybody ready?
I am.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, I'm working on a shield. We can do that. Give me a few, and as we're traveling and thinking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can fiddle about with that while we get on. Okay. So now it's time to transport the parts and stuff that you managed to acquire back to the wreck of that battleship you've been fitting back together. That's a long haul back north, but fortunately you have your little marker which will take you close to it, and you'll be able to find your way the rest of the way. So yeah, it's time for a trip home. You stop every couple of days in port just because you haven't been to these areas that often. You can pick up a little scraping from the island so you can find it again, soak up some of the southern culture and ambience. At one of your stops, a little neutral sort of trader drift, a sort of chain of islands linked together, one onto the other. You stop off there, and while you're getting a meal in a tea house, just for a little bit of a break from eating the same stuff over and over again. Each island has its own cuisine, after all. You are approached by a rather officious-looking man. He has a very high widow's peak, grey-white hair, slicked back, a high-collared jacket with big brass buttons. The collar is circular and covers his mouth, so you can't actually see his lips when he's speaking. But he comes up to your table and somehow folds his spindly limbs into a kneel and bows down over the table. You're the crew of the vessel?
Yeah, we you're talking about the one that just came into port, right? Oh,
yes.
Wait. Oh, yeah, I guess. Crap. I only have my first mate hat. I better find a captain's hat. But yeah, we are. What? Who might you be? We are just travelers, merchants, kind of.
I am Avi Varel. I am a liaison for the Mistline Company.
Mist loan. What-
Mistline.
What do you
Like-
make lines out of mist for?
Well, I was going to say, where'd it go? How did you
we
miss it?
we run aerial cargo trains throughout the islands, across most borders. Important for passage and trade.
Okay. Congratulations.
Why, thank you.
We don't do that. We do nothing like that whatsoever.
No,
Other than
but
move things from one place to another, that does happen.
You want
But
some
you
noodles? Fresh noodles, chili spice noodles, fresh
Hey.
ones.
no selling your own food in my restaurant.
Oh.
Thrown at you and bounces off your head. The cheek of some people.
So, Mr. Old Guy, what do you want?
Mr. Old Guy, my name is Avi Rep. As I say, I work for the Mistline Company as a liaison.
Yeah, but you look older. You look like older than anyone I've ever seen. You look like dust. You look like dust on the floor that's been there too long.
Whose child is this? Anyone?
Yours?
Unfortunately, he's his own child.
I see. Emancipated. Very well.
That's not the word I would use.
Well, quite. This is a matter that requires some discretion, so I would need your agreement, and I would make a payment, and we would have to speak somewhere privately for me to go into the details. But suffice to say that the Mistline Company is very large, very wealthy, quite influential. And
Hold on,
we
hold on.
are-
Can you do me a favor? Could you spell that first word? Because I don't think I understand why you can't get on board your line. Why do you keep missing it?
Mist, M-I-S-T.
Gotcha. Okay. So you want to pay us to have a conversation with you, kind of like what we're doing now. So you're going to pay us right now for this conversation. And then you want to pay us to not talk about the next conversation.
I wish to procure your services, but I cannot reveal the nature of the work in such a public setting.
Oh,
That's
Uh,
understandable.
at what
Believe
point
me,
do
if
we
you
get
wanted
money?
discretion, this is the wrong crew.
Niao has a really nice restaurant, better than this one. We could go there.
True.
Get out of my tea house, you brat!
Hey, guess what happens if you get me upset?
Yeah.
Don't make me come to front of house. I hate front of house. That's for waiters. And
Hey, Dracon.
Hey, I haven't said the magic Dracon word yet. Like fire in the tea house.
Please don't set the tea house on fire. It's just a guy trying to make a living.
well, perhaps you need to get some shore leave energy out of your system. When you're ready to talk, you can come and see me at the Mistline office. Should be easy enough to find. Anyone should be able to direct you there.
Okay.
I'll see you
so,
then.
Wait. You had in mind us meeting where? Like at a more private restaurant with,
Not a
full
restaurant at
meal
all.
and-
At his office, Bow. Stop being dense.
I
All right,
missed it.
well,
I heard what I understood is that's where you were headed, but you never said where you actually wanted to take us.
you have my
to
card.
have
Oh my god. Did you become autistic between sessions?
No, his testicles dropped. Didn't you pay attention last time?
No.
Oh, well, you should have listened to the last episode, and you would know what his problem is. He's got like testosterone running through his system.
Oh, so he's
Brain poisoning.
wanting to be like contrarian to everything now.
Yeah.
Who knows? He's 16 and his testicles drop.
Yeah, let's just throw you off the edge of the ship now and put you out of your misery. I don't need to deal with any more children.
They pick themselves
Hey, I respect
up and wander off to wait for you at their offices.
Well, are we finished here?
No, I was enjoying the tea until Mr. Mysterious showed up, and you two decide to start trying to burn down the fucking tea house.
What was that guy's name again?
I don't even remember at this point.
It's on his card that he left.
Oh, yeah.
Graham, Quinn and Drakon fly off and follow the man up above.
I'll look at the card. What was the guy's name?
AV Rel, Mistline Liaison.
AV?
Yes, AEVY.
All right. And what does it say his job is, other than he worked for this?
Mistline Liaison,
Liaison.
company officer without portfolio.
Gotcha. There we go. Now I know who we're talking to. Okay. This is going to be interesting, guys. Anybody up for a little machinations?
Let's go see what the corporate gentleman has to say.
The waiter brings your bill, which has been doubled with a being assholes surcharge.
Oh, I love the asshole.
You're paying that.
Okay, well, meanwhile, Gwyn and Drakon took off and followed the guy, which is fairly easy because this chain of islands is just like one after another, and it's all fairly open. All the buildings are built on one side of the islands, and then there's walkways and bridges and passages the other. So yeah, you follow him. He's so much taller than everybody else around here that he's also easy to follow for that reason. Eventually, he arrives at the top of the islands, where there's a slightly more impressive building. Looks like it used to be like a little lookout fortress in a sort of older shogunate sort of style. And since then, it has been built onto to show off the wealth of the Mistline Company. So it's all lacquered red wood, gold paint on everything, and the Mistline Corporation's Mon emblazoned on the building as well. Now it looks more like someone's fanciful imagining of a fortress, but it is a fortress to golden wealth and power rather than military might.
What kind of other people are there when he makes it to the building around him?
Well, so when he gets to the building, you see a few other workers in similar uniforms to his, though a bit less ostentatious. There are a few guards which snap their jackboots together and salute him as he goes in. There's also a more public building built off the side of this thing, which looks like it's a big waiting room or a lounge or something like that.
If it's a Japanese-style fortress, does it have an inner courtyard area?
You go flitting around. It looks like the older version of the fortress did have an open courtyard, but they've since covered it over with a roof.
Oh. Are there any gaps in the roof?
No, it's all very tight, well made.
Is there anything that's supposed to open to let air or anything in?
It looks like there are slats on the sides which open up to allow air in and out and through.
All right, go over to one of those, see if I can open it.
Make a... Dex roll to try and get one of these open and get inside.
Uh, 10, but it is 2 5s.
But not 2 6s.
No, I didn't know if 2 5s did anything.
I think it's double 6 or higher as the crit.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Right.
So 10. Yeah. Okay, well, you managed to jimmy some of the slats open. He says, almost knocking everything off his desk. But it's too narrow for you to fit through, and certainly for Drakon to fit through. However, looking through the slats, you can see inside. The part that you're looking into seems to be a big, high-ceilinged chamber. Cool air comes out into the warmer air outside. So there's a little bit of breeze in your face as the air evens out. There's several of these sort of company officers moving about in this chamber, making notes with styluses on tablets and looking up to where there is a big illusory sort of diagram, presumably of the world, tracking all kinds of different points of interest.
Do I see old guy walking around anywhere?
You see him walk across this chamber and into another one on the other side.
Okay. So I stick my head up to the bars. Hey, old guy, that's a really neat looking map.
A bunch of people look up. You hear some people panic. A child! How do they get up there? They might fall. Quick, call security.
I'll wait to see what happens.
Okay. A small crowd gathers, pointing up at you and discussing what they can see between each other. And then eventually you hear someone climbing along the outside of the fortress, fairly close by.
All right. Go see who that person is.
You peek around the corner, and there is a security guard in a harness, sort of very, very slowly edging his way along, making sure his harness is secure
So
as the wind whips around him.
I go fly up above him and go, hey, you got to be careful. You're going to fall.
Fuck. He starts very slowly and carefully edging his way back towards the window that they've opened to let him out.
And I fly
He
in the
can
window.
fly.
I fly in the window and let Drakon fly in after me.
Can
Right,
Drakon
there are-
fit normal window?
He's a
but
dragon.
this is big enough for a man to get in and out of.
Well, he said he
yeah.
grew. He said he's getting bigger.
Yeah, he's more hench.
Hence,
Inside, there are more security guys, and a concerned woman in a similar uniform to the old guy's uniform. So he can fly. Well, I didn't quite expect that. Are you all right? Are you lost?
The old guy said we should come and see him.
Old guy?
I thought he was a neat guy, so I followed.
Can you tell me who it is you're here to see? Is it your
I look
daddy,
around, do I see him?
perhaps?
I look around. Do I see him?
Not in here, no.
I'll swim. I'll fly around, find him. I start flying.
No, wait. You'd come and sit down and have a drink and maybe a sweet cake, she says, trying to tempt you back. And we'll go and find him for you.
Okay, I go sit down.
Okay. Takes you into a little side office and leaves you in there with a drink and a cake and discreetly locks the door to keep you in there, at least temporarily, while she tries to figure out who it is that you're here to see. Meanwhile, elsewhere, what are the rest of you doing?
Finishing up tea, climbing into the tea house, and headed towards the rendezvous.
Okay, so you're taking the restaurant to the rendezvous point.
Sure. Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
there's workers. It's a restaurant. I mean, I could make some money by selling to all the workers while I'm there.
Yeah, true.
Never miss opportunity.
All right, so you putter your aerial junk up to the top end of the island after getting some directions, and bring it up alongside the lounge. There are people there waiting who seem very interested in what you have to offer, but if you're going to go in and meet the guy, you're not going to be able to stay here and cook noodles.
oh,
Damn, this is why I need assistant.
I've been thinking about building you one, to be honest.
No,
Yeah, I have been
No.
thinking about it.
No.
I got these ideas, see?
you know what? You take ideas. You go buy $5 worth of coffee, and you have coffee. Now let's go to meeting.
You're starting more and more, you sound more and more like your auntie, you know.
Must have happened when you get older, have to be around children all the time.
Oh, that was good.
All right. You show the card to the security people, and they put 2 and 2 together and escort you into the little side office where Quinn and Drakon are sat, and there are cake crumbs all over Quinn's face.
I'm sorry, Grim. I hate to do this to you. So stop at one of the guards. Oh, that's nice armor. How much you want for it?
It's not for sale. It's company issue.
Oh. No, everything is for sale. It's just a matter of price, la.
No, it's not for sale.
No,
Here,
come on.
just-
Come, I give you 200 zenit for it right now.
No.
Come on. Actually,
No,
you know what? I should give you less. I give you 175 zenit because you have sweat stains.
No.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
Not for sale.
You took a level in Burchin, didn't you?
Not yet, but I'm thinking about it.
No, that's fine.
Hey,
Really?
yeah, they gave me cake. Look, I give them show them like the last piece of cake.
Nice.
You got 1 crumb from your upper lip. Look.
That looked like that was tasty cake.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask for some more cake. Miss, can I have some more cake?
Oh, you don't
Of
need
course
any
you
more
can,
sugar.
sweetheart.
Come on, Quinn. We've got to go meet the nice man.
But not
Well-
like a cake.
He
Take it with
arrives
you.
back with the assistant who has more cake on a plate. She sets the plate of cake on the desk. The grey-haired man, AV, sits down with the cake and drinks laid out. The door is shut again and locked.
Hey, did you know that there's no windows up top here?
Yes, I was aware.
Most places
We
I can
built-
just fly into from above.
Oh, we built it so that you can't just do that.
Oh, that's no fair.
I take it from your presence that despite the chaotic nature of certain parts of your party, you are interested in the job, at least
Right.
potentially.
Yes.
Money.
We like money.
Well, who doesn't? For starters, then, he reaches into his jacket, pulls out a pouch of coins, and sets them down on the table. The pouch slumps, and a variety of different coins from different kingdoms and stuff spill out, but you estimate about 100 zenit in total in value. Yeah, just to have this conversation.
Awesome.
And nothing we say here leaves this room. Understood?
I thought
Oh,
that
then you
cost
shouldn't say it in
more.
front of
I'm
Quinn.
confused.
I won't say anything if I get another cake.
Well, help yourself.
Hey, Les,
Yeah,
if we get another 100 zenit.
So, we run Skytrains. It's an evolution of the idea of having a convoy of vessels from one place to another. Instead of multiple vessels, we have one vessel made up of different elements. It's very efficient, very fast, relatively speaking, can carry an enormous amount of cargo from one place to another, and is a sufficiently large vessel with a sufficiently large crew that it tends to deter pirates or sky whales or anything else from attacking such a vessel. It is extremely
Say
rare.
anything about pirate.
It is extremely rare that we ever lose such a vessel, but we have. The Violetta vanished mid-transit, and we don't really know what has happened to it. The area that it passed through has recently become more contentious between the shogunate and several allied bands of pirates. Yet neither group is laying claim to anything. We even offered both groups a reward for any information on what happened to our Skytrain, and neither has been willing to offer us any explanation or to admit culpability at all. Now, discretion is important to us. Reliability is important to us. Anytime we lose a train, it's important that we find out exactly what happened to it, how, why, and if possible, to retrieve whatever we can from the wreck so we can make good to the people who have entrusted us with their cargo, their passengers, and so on. So, I would like you to investigate. I can give you a special tracker which will take you along the route of the train, though we have sent scout vessels already and they found nothing. For this, I will pay your little band 2,000 zenith on top of what I've already paid you just to listen to me.
I'm hoping this is 2,000 zenith each.
And
No.
I'm wondering if maybe like you just have this random room filled with interesting stuff that I could just browse through and maybe come up with a fair exchange.
Our company's value in part derives from certain technologies and magics which are proprietary to the Mistline company and therefore are not available to
Catch
outsiders.
my point exactly.
Something might be able to find its way into your grubby little mitts if you perform above expectations.
Well, we always do that. You would not believe how low the expectations are for us normally. So it's actually not difficult. It was amazing how far above normal expectations we performed most recently. I don't believe I burned anything down.
I'm sure. You certainly do have something of a reputation.
Really? What is it? Did Nuru say anything?
No. So who is in charge out of this little band of yours, and do you accept the job?
We do accept the job, and we kind of take it in turns who's in charge.
The
usually.
captain's not here right now.
I'm first mate, so in chain of command, it defects to me, but actually, I'm kind of more interested in.
I am restaurateur. I am not actually pirate. I just tag along with these people because they take me places and I sell my goods. It is all fine with me. This child thinks he is in charge. Do not listen to him. Really, I only trust June because she is sensible one.
Oh wait, no, Zarin is like the most grounded, sensible person you've ever met. If he
Yeah, but he is new and he is too white.
really white.
Captain Devlin's not here right now. He's not feeling so good after he ate some stuff that Meow didn't make, and he's like the runs.
I told him that fish look old. I say, when fish smell like this, it mean either one of two things. You've been in brothel too long, or that fish not good.
But I'm sure he want us to take a job if it meant some money so we can keep the ship going.
But that said, I have led this crew to many, many successful endeavors. So you're in good hands with us.
Quinn's behind him, shaking his head.
Will there be things along those? So.
No, he didn't.
No. All right.
I would call it a joint effort, except your effort is 0.
Whose effort? His effort? I mean, he's putting up with us. That takes a lot of effort. All right. So let's go over the plan one more time before we decide if that was actually an appropriate price to accept. And also,
What was
Zarin,
price?
I dropped a little thing for you in the chat there, Zarin.
You've already been paid 100 Zenith in order to have this conversation and to hopefully guarantee tighter lips than you seem to typically have. Should you complete the tasks, you shall be paid a further 2,000 Zenith.
2,000?
Yes.
Yes. Plus,
You know, my roof leak. I need to have it fixed.
I can give you the name of a good wholesaler for tar.
excellent. So,
Will he give
all
me
right.
good price?
Yes, he will. Just drop the corporation's name and he'll give you a discount.
Okay.
In addition
We'll just
to
put
the
it on his
monetary,
account when we get there.
in addition to the monetary exchange, you will get something from us, some older proprietary technology or magic, perhaps. I can give you a special tracker, which will take you on the route of the SkyTrain, and anything else is open and up for discussion. But I need to know whether you're going to take the job or not.
100%.
So,
Do we get
so
to
we
keep any
wait.
loot?
Hey. So
Oh,
let
sorry.
me understand for a moment. We get 2,000 Zenith. You give me name of guy who fix hole in roof, and you give us some old junk that you don't want no more.
Yes,
Is that right?
that's right. You can't keep anything from the train.
What?
That, if at all possible, any remaining cargo or surviving passengers should be returned to us here.
If at all possible.
However, should there be any other pirates or some other force involved, you may loot them to your heart's content. We have no interest whatsoever in anything that they have. Just the cargo from the train and any surviving passengers.
Smack bow on the chest. Okay, we take job.
Okay, there we go.
Shut your mouth. Don't say no more. Got idea.
I got an idea too. I think 2 ideas is better than none. So,
Stop talking in front of person.
In
Child?
fact, I will authorize a bonus to be paid for you for each living passenger that you recover, and for any of the cargo that you manage to recover.
now
Here
we're
is the special tracker. Insert that into your compass as you would any other compass tracker material, and it should lead you along the route.
Okay. Let's go. Everybody aboard the restaurant.
talking. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding.
When we're back aboard the restaurant, this my cunning plan. So we're going to let everybody in the entire world know this train lost in this area and has valuable cargo. All pirates come out to try to steal. Except we go defeat all of the pirates and we steal all of their things. And then we have profit and still find train.
I was just going to say we pretend to lose his shit and keep it. That one sounds way easier.
No, you don't want to make enemy of this man, but you do want to make profit. And we make most profit when we bring more people in to see about it. Of course, we have to do it in a way that they don't find out we are the ones who leaked it because they want us to be quiet.
This must be what happens when you grow up. You come up with these crazy convoluted plans.
No, this is what happens when you broke as fuck.
Well, if you've
We're
gone back to the
always,
restaurant now, you,
like,
you
right
can sell some
on
noodles.
the
Yes,
Val has
that
the
is
cops
way to
coming.
earn money. Yes, but you can
Yeah.
sell noodles. That's the way to get passive income. Well, not passive for us, not for you.
A small airboat goes by with a little Magitech engine running and a husky in the back going, woo, woo.
Yeah. Something
So,
else.
Grim,
All right.
did they all leave?
Yeah, everyone, unless you
No,
decide
we're
to
in
do
the-
something different.
Yeah. So I'm 8 years old, little kid. I wait quietly as they all leave, and then I find the lady and go, "Can I have some more cake?"
We don't have any more cake at the moment.
I can wait.
But why don't you come back with your friends next time, and I'll make sure there's extra cake laid on. And she pats you on the top of the head.
I want some more cake now.
We don't have any more cake.
Uh-oh.
I really want some more cake now.
Quinn,
Typical
don't.
child
you
does
can
not
make-
understand word
This is after
no.
you guys left.
Yeah, we're all gone. That's why I went, uh-oh, because I have this picture in my head of some anime child all of a sudden, eyes going crazy and mouth opening up to 3/4 of a Pac-Man and screaming coming out of this kid's face.
Well, I can't hear it, so.
That's what I said.
Now, when you come back, we'll have more cake. And she pats you on the head again.
Okay. He starts crying. I want more cake now.
She makes soothing noises while simultaneously pushing you out of the building. There. Slam.
Go stomping back to the ship. I
All right.
don't go talk to them about nothing.
Is there
Okay.
any other prep or anything you want to do before you set out?
Yeah, more cake.
Maybe Neil has some cake back there somewhere.
Noodle
Moon cake or mochi or sweet noodles. Does Neil have any cake?
Yeah, Neil usually probably has like tea cakes and things like that to serve along with everything else.
Well,
You find a bran and chia seed cupcake. Muffin.
This one
Might
very
like
good for
that.
your digestion. I promise, you'll be in shit for so long you stay out of our hair.
Tastes like carpet underlay. All right. So,
what do we think we need to be prepared for this expedition, crewmates?
well, when you plonk the special magical item into your compass, it shows a whole course rather than a heading. It's a little magical crystal. And it shows a line that runs from here up to the borders of the Shogunate territory further to the north.
Uh-oh.
So it's quite a long way. It doesn't really run past anywhere that anyone
Okay.
can think of. Of course, islands float around. Something may have floated into the path at some point. But from what Quinn saw of their sort of magical tracking map device, they should have been on top of that sort of thing, and they're not. So something untoward must have happened somewhere along the route, but figuring out where is going to be tricky because there aren't any real landmarks.
Gotcha. So you triggered with one word what I would like to address while we are in transit. Shogunate. We are in a stolen Shogunate ship. I would like to spend some time disguising our ship.
Okay, so yeah, we get a montage of bow hammering and sawing and gluing, and now the ship has a giant prosthetic nose, mustache, and glasses on the front of it. That's what you meant, right?
If I was worried, if I was worried about the ship, we could always just go in just Niao's restaurant. It
No.
does move on its own.
Yeah, but didn't he just say he wanted to do combat with pirates? We need to be in a. I mean, I can to build a device that will make the entire ship have like an illusion around it, so it doesn't look like a shogunate.
Yeah, that would be a project taking some days
Right.
and some money.
But does Vesper's
So-
Wake? Does
So
the
just so you,
hang on?
for me, because of my visionary skill, for free, I get 400 Zenit and 4 days per day for free.
Towards
Like
the
my design is so revolutionary that instead of costing 400 Zenit, I can figure out how to do it for free with
What-
coffee grounds and rolling pins.
MacGyver it.
What if we went back and used Vesper's Wake instead? Use the old ship.
Is it ready to be used?
Not yet. I mean, you're still hauling the engine. That's
Yeah, I was
needed.
gonna say yeah, we had made it
That's
there.
me. Bring it back and work on it, and then take Vesper's Wake, and then you don't have to worry about it.
But do we
Yeah,
have a
this-
time
this
limit
won't
for
take
this?
long.
Okay. So long as this is like a one-off disguise, you can do it without having to invest anything in materials, and you can do it damn quick. Actually, I didn't look up the time properly. One sec. Okay, it's a minor effect because all you're doing is changing the appearance. So that's 100 Zenit base cost. You're having to affect a large area, which is handily defined as an airship, so that's 300 Zenit. It's consumable, can't be used again, so one off. So that's still 300 Zenit. It doesn't provide any special effects or protections. So it would take 3 progress. Okay, it'll take you 2 days to put it together, which then is divided by 4, so half a day.
Why not?
All right. So hammering, painting, gluing. You've bedazzled the ship, and it now doesn't quite have the same lines and everything that it did before. So it looks a bit more like a merchant trader.
Looks like a
perhaps.
party ship now. We can flip a switch and strobe lights and Christmas lights and mirrored ball, dancing girls.
Avast, make way for the booze cruise. All right. What are you looking for during the trip? You know, they've already sent scouts, and the scouts haven't seen anything. So, how are you going to try and find this wreck?
Oddly, I think Liel he latched on to the best plan as we start going out and talking to other ne'er-do-wells and see what we can discover, and you know.
Okay. Who is going to be?
Oh, I'm terrible at that stuff.
That's a horrible
Who is going to
idea.
be your spokes dude to talk to the various pirate crews and bandits and stuff that you happen across?
Oh no, we're Oh, okay. I'm gonna get Quinn to do it
Sure.
Okie doke.
because they won't hurt him, and
Because he's a child.
because he's a child, and
All
And he
right.
can easily escape if they try to make him into a cabin boy.
true.
And he has a dragon standing over his right shoulder.
So yeah, so okay, Quinn. This is what I need you to do. You need to tell every single pirate you run across, every single one, all of them, every single one, that there is missing train and big reward for person who can get it back. Lots of treasure on board. Okay, you can do this.
Sure.
Okay, And when you get back, I make you special dan noodles.
What's that?
It's a dry noodle with tasty pork and onion, and it's very good. You will like it.
Okay.
All right. Then can Quinn make an insight plus willpower roll, please?
If I'm at it. 19.
Nice.
Like I say, like, aren't those your best 2 dice?
Yes.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
he's a
And
kid,
what
right?
are you saying to these various pirates exactly?
Hey, Mr. Pirate, I'm looking for this big train thing. It's got like gold leaf on the wheels and stuff, and there's all these rich people walking around on it, but they're lost, and so I'm supposed to go find them. They went along this way, and I described the route we're going. But it's really important that we find them. And, I'm a pirate. I got my pirate hat from before, so I wear my pirate hat. And I think if I get a bunch of other pirates to help me, we could go rescue them.
All right. So imagine that as a cutscene of Quinn, right, on the deck, talking to different pirates as they sort of slot in as he goes through his spiel. They all seem to be terribly excited and interested in everything that you say. And when you finish talking to them, they forget all about attacking and looting your ship and take off to look for this much better thing that they can potentially salvage or pirate. So then you can give it a day or two and then start following the path and see if they found anything.
Works for me.
Okay.
Do not work harder, my son. Work smarter.
I had this image of Quinn actually recruiting a pirate navy and becoming an admiral.
That would be funny too.
Yeah, that would take a crit and a really high roll. And probably a fabulous point as well. Right. Okay. Choose one of you to act as leader lookout to try and spot some sort of clue.
Spot the loony. That would be Quinn.
That'll be an insight roll.
Yeah, that still puts me as the best one to look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say I got a D8, so I'm probably not the best.
My insight is a
All right.
D6.
Well, I'm not getting any better than that. 0, 0.
Okay.
10, 10.
Oh, good.
Right. And everyone else can roll as well. The difficulty is 10, and every one of you that gets a success adds on to Quinn's.
Now,
We shall
I
see.
should have had that
Nope.
for the let's make a pirate fleet roll.
I got a
did not get a
success.
success.
Okay, so it's 22.
What was the number to beat?
10.
Yep, got it. 10.
Okay, so 23.
I got a 9.
So new.
Mhm.
You're the odd one out.
Mhm.
Okay. Right, and it was a crit.
Yeah, like, can I keep that for the let's make a pirate fleet?
Yeah.
No, but you can have an extra Fabula point because nothing else really fits at the moment. Okay,
All of us get that, or just him?
just him.
Okay.
I can add that
So
to
you're-
my absolute pile of points I have. I got 12 of them now. No, 13 now. Is this plus 1?
You're on about your second day of travel. When you see some dark cloud mixed up with the white cloud below in the cloud sea. As you get closer, you realize that there is a wreck of a ship, barely still hovering with smoke coming off it in wisps. It's been burnt quite badly, but some time ago, maybe a day. But even so, from its lines, you recognize it's one of the pirate ships that you recruited. And as you pass overhead, you can see that it has tether lines descending deeper into the cloud sea below its cover. seems like they found something and bit off more than they could chew and have been dragged down into the cloud. Maybe they found what you're looking for. Maybe.
So both Niles and my plan are unfolding, because my plan was that we would get all those pirate guys out there to spring all the traps and disturb all the monsters first, and then we could just come in and clean up.
When in Drakon, do what he usually does and flies down.
Yeah, you guys, let's get an idea of what's happening.
Okay, who's piloting the ship?
Yeah. Well, first Quinn and Dracon's flying down to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Ahead of the ship.
Well, unfortunately, I think it's me.
It does still have its autopilot, so you could just tell it to.
Yeah, we're just going to autopilot it, because its autopilot is as good or better than I am.
Okay. So take us in close to that wreck. And the ship's autopilot speaks out, echoing around the navigation room. Affirmative. Descending. And the ship tilts down slightly and begins to lower. Meanwhile,
if we go to the island where all the women live, then we may get an upgrade to our computer autopilot, and it'll just say, "Okay, dear."
I want you all to put on your warm clothes.
Mhm.
Have you got a packed lunch? We'll replace it with Eddie's personality. Right. Quinn and Drakon flit on ahead while the ship moves more sluggishly behind you. You descend into the upper wisps of the cloud sea and down to hover above the blackened deck of the pirate vessel. Yeah, it has been somewhat wrecked. There are several large holes in the hull. One of the lever stones has vanished, torn free of its moorings. You don't see any dead bodies, weirdly. That seems to be a little bit odd. And there are ropes and chains attached to grapples that descend deeper into the clouds, where it's too opaque for you to see through.
Well, fly down along the lines and see what's at the bottom.
Yeah, so you could trace your fingertips along the line and descend further. 1 second.
Get Drakon to give us some fire for vision.
Okay, your ears pop a couple of times as you descend, and the cloud gets thicker and thicker. But even so, eventually, following this line down, you see that it terminates on an enormous spike of rock that comes up out of the depths. Upon this rock is founded the Sky Train, which is made up of all these separate sections, each one a sort of standardized individual airship that are then linked together in series. But something has swatted it out of the sky, and it has crashed and looks like a dead snake sort of draped across this pile of rock in the clouds below. The couple of lines that come down from the pirate ship are attached to portions of the wreck. Again, though, you don't see any bodies. Not of passengers, not of pirates.
That's
Are
odd.
we close enough to be able to begin investigating the ship ourselves? Was the ship our ship?
You
So
guys
does it
have just
look-
come down. You guys have just come down alongside the other ship.
Gotcha. So does it look like the lines going down were set and then people went over the side, or did it look like grappling hooks were thrown and captured the ship?
It looks like the wreck was already there, and so they fired the grapples to attach themselves to it so they could station keep better, and had guidelines just like Quinn used them for.
Okay. So the lines are tied off at the airship, the pirate ship, And the grappling part is down connected to the
Yeah.
wrecked train thing. Okay.
You recognize the model of grappler cannon as being one that's produced by the guild.
The airship, is it laying on ground, or is it laying on, like, what's it you said it's draped over?
So there's these big spikes of stone coming up out of the deeper cloud.
Yeah.
It's black stone, and then the sky train is sort of mangled and laid across it.
What's it smell like around here?
What?
It smells like burnt hair, or when Neil makes crispy pigskin.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Fly around the bottom of the base and see if I can see if this is just one piece of rock or if it's something bigger that extends even farther.
Okay, it starts to give you a headache to descend much further below, but as far as you can tell, the rock just descends and descends and descends, but you can't see very far. Can you make an insight roll, please?
16, just regular.
Okay. You stray a little bit from the edge of the mountain and kind of panic and double back. But as you do, you're aware of a slight red glow off the side of this mountain of rock, like something is a bit further out in the darker, deeper clouds.
See, this reminds me of this tale that I heard as a little boy.
Still a little boy.
Okay, when I was a littler boy, about beast deep in the fathoms known as Gozira.
You're full of shit. That's not a real story.
It was a real story where I come from.
Where you come from, Toho?
While I'm down there, I yell out, hey, is anyone there? And then I try it in like to elemental, to monster, to go through the different types of animal.
For a moment, you think you hear an answering moan or groan coming from the wreckage of the train.
Oh. Can I make it to the train, to the wreckage, into the wreckage?
You can, but let's give the others a bit more opportunity to do some stuff. So yeah, you're up alongside the wreck. Quinn is off being Quinn somewhere.
Can I climb down the chain that's connecting the pirate ship to the wreck?
Do you want to just abseil down it, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you make a Dex Might roll, please?
Double sixes.
Nice. All right. So Zeren has clearly had enough of your shit. Grabs hold of the line and hurls himself off the side of the ship, using his armor as a sort of zip line, and goes down into the clouds. Very rapidly, you see this mountain appear out of the mist and swirling cloud and the wreckage of the ship, and you come zipping down and land with a thump on top of one of the individual airship cabin sections. So we'll come back to you and Quinn in a minute. So what about Neil and Bao and Jun?
Jun is going to assist anyone as best she can in whatever they're doing.
Okay. Now?
It's pretty much the same. I mean, wherever June's going, I'm going to, because,
Okay.
I admire her.
So
I have loyalty and affection.
Yeah, does she still have those special panties? I don't recall.
Yeah, she does, and we need to sell them at some point because they're worth 700 zen.
They're worth more the longer you wear them.
Exactly.
I mean, that's true, technically.
So I'm going to climb aboard.
Oh, they're worth significantly more if you sell them unwashed.
That's the point. Yeah.
Or put them in a
Plastic bag.
No. vending machine.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
All right.
I'm going to climb aboard Portent and have him transport me down this chain to follow
Okay.
our guardian friend.
All right. Can you make a Dex Might roll for him then, please? And you two said that you're following, so can you both make Dex Might rolls, please?
Okay.
Would it be Dex Might, or because all of his stuff is pushed to be Might?
It's Dex Might,
Bastard.
not Bat Might.
I wish it was might because then I would be rolling 2d10s.
Rolling 2d12s.
What's the total? I mean, what's the number?
Difficulty 10.
I failed by 1 point.
Same.
1d8 plus 1d10.
Well, remember you have Fabula points.
That is exactly 10 with a critical success.
Okay. So you two presumably don't want to plummet to a messy
No.
death.
No.
So do you
So,
want
yeah.
to spend
I
Fabula
will.
points or use magic or...
Yes, I cling tenaciously to June and re-roll using his fabulous
Okay.
point. And get worse. Apparently, I grabbed something I wasn't supposed to.
Spend
you can
another
spend
one.
again.
I grabbed June's other thing. Hold on tenaciously.
Did you succeed this time?
No!
No?
I've
want to-
blown 2 goddamn Fabula points on this.
Well,
I have one
remember,
more.
they do count towards experience points for everybody, so yeah,
Keep spending.
carry on.
Well, I spent one and made
There's one last thing I can grab, I'm sure. No! 6! You made this too difficult.
You could call for Drakon.
Yeah,
You
you
just
could.
start falling.
And that would be a valuable point too, because that's a minor plot detail, right?
It is. It is. So I'm going to have to.
Yeah, so
Wait. I don't want to depend on Drakon. I am the noodle maker after all. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to burn a Fabula point and unreel a string of super strong noodles, braid them together, and use those to climb onto and swing on.
okay, so here is what happens. Following Seren's lead, Bao leaps onto the back of his robot buddy, who for some reason reminds me of the robot pal from The Simpsons. And with the robot gripping onto the rope, disappears down the line. Jun follows, holding on just kind of barely. Well, no, you got a crit, didn't you? So yeah, very, very elegantly sliding down. Neil slides down immediately behind Jun, almost immediately loses his grip, whips out his hand to try and hold on, grabs Jun by one boob, loses his grip with his other hand, grabs Jun by the other boob. Jun's robe gradually tears and unfurls down around her waist, and Neil plummets off into the clouds, leaving Jun to arrive in her underwear at the other side.
You owe me another robe,
I
Neil.
grabbed her 3 times.
Well, yeah, with less said about the third time, the better.
Okay.
Then, as you're falling, you make that gesture, and a bundle of noodles flies out of your sleeve, wraps
Spider-Man.
around the rope,
Yes.
and leaves you dangling. You climb up the noodles somehow, make it back up onto the rope, and slide very slowly backwards, holding on with all your arms and legs all the way down to the bottom, and hand Jun back her torn robe.
I was saving those for special occasion, damn it.
You're gonna pay for my new robe.
Yes, when we have 1,000 Zenith, yes, I buy you 2.
Noodle man,
I get to pick them
noodle
out.
man, does whatever a noodle can.
that was crazy.
Yes, it was. That was anime.
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
All right, you have all arrived at the bottom. Quinn is somewhere out there, and the wreckage of the SkyTrain is all around you. Occasionally, you think you can hear moaning and groaning coming from inside the wreck, but it could just be the wind whistling through the tangled and torn bits of metal.
Well, so with a little insight, where do I see a safe place to enter and begin to investigate?
Yeah, make the roll.
Oh boy. Yeah, it was just a 7.
Okay.
Because I didn't think my alchemical toolkit would really apply.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not really sure where's the best place to
Everything looks
gain.
dangerous to me.
Yeah, there's all these sharp, torn bits of metal. I mean, there's plenty of holes that would be big enough to squeeze through, but you'd probably cut yourself.
Is there one that maybe I could shove a bomb into and blow it open bigger without knocking it off of the pedestal at time?
Yes, there are plenty where you could drop a bomb inside and blow the hole open a bit more.
All right. Well, I think I'll hold off onto that one.
Yeah,
please.
I'm going to make my way to the lead ship.
Okay. Yeah, you start climbing up through the scree and loose, broken bits of metal and things that have fallen out of the train. The lead train is pretty much identical to the others, except there's another smaller pod on the front of it. Seems to be the navigation section.
Okay, do I see any claw marks or something that might indicate what smacked this out of the sky?
There's burn marks on one side of the cabin, and the other side is splintered and blown open. Peering in through the hole, there are the burnt remnants of the crew. This is the first time you've seen any sign of any bodies or anything.
Well, I'll holler back and tell them we've got some remains here.
Okay. Well,
Shit, that just lost us some money.
yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't have done this plan after all.
No. I bet you there's still going to be some salvage here. So, I'm going to have Horton tear open one of these holes to make it bigger.
Okay.
Here.
Before you do that, can Zarin make an insight roll, please?
Oh yeah, that's going to really work well.
That's why we never split the party.
An 8.
An 8. Okay, that's actually good enough. You're about to turn away when you notice that one of the burnt bodies is curled around something as if trying to protect it. It looks like a Magitech scroll case of some kind.
Okay, I'll gently remove it.
Okay. You reach in and manage to get hold of it and pull it free. A couple of fingers snap off as you pull it away. You've got hold of it.
Okay, wash your hands after touching corpse.
It lights up when you touch it, and it looks like there's some sort of combination lock with 4 digits.
Okay, well, I'll take it to bow.
Uh-oh.
All right. Yeah, so as you make your way back to bow, his little robot companion is tearing open the side of one of these damaged carriages, peeling aside the metal and looking inside. Beep, boop.
Good job. I look in. What do I see?
This looks like it was a cargo section. There's a bunch of splintered wood and shattered plaster. Looks like sort of decorations or cheap statuary was being stored in here. Almost all of it is smashed to pieces.
Well, that's a weird thing to be transporting, especially on this high-end train thing. Well, if we were to go in, is it possible? I'm stuck on this train analogy, I guess. So it's not. Is it possible to go from quote unquote car to car internally? Okay,
Yes, it is. And now that you've torn open the side, you can get in and you can travel from carriage to carriage.
that's what I would suggest we do. What do you guys think? Wait, where's Quinn?
Yeah, where is
No.
Quinn?
Where's Quinn?
Oh man!
We're always
I'm-
losing this child.
I was trying to talk with. I think that there might be something to the ground or whatever this thing smashed on, and I was trying to go through different languages and see if it would respond. That was
Yeah.
the people.
The only thing you heard was that moaning sound coming from the carriages.
Okay. Well, then I'll fly back to where the carriages are.
Okay. Yeah. So as you start saying, "Where's Quinn?" Quinn appears as if by magic.
As usual.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I wait. Zarin, has Zarin made it back safely from that front end?
Yeah, it's quite quick to scramble back down. But yeah, he turns up and has this scroll case.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, we'll examine that in a moment, but I think our best plan of attack from here is climb down into this hole and then loot it until this place is naked. All in favor say aye. Aye?
Is
Not even portent?
is
You get a
the,
buck.
You act as though my vote matters.
Grim? The original
Okay.
the original air
I'll
train
stop doing that.
basically
Wait,
made
wait,
of,
wait.
the original
What
air
else?
train is basically made of a bunch of ships, right?
Yeah,
Each one has its own lifting device.
each one has its own lifting device.
Because Quinn's now been around the rocks, and it's the reason why he can fly is because he ate it as a kid. I want to go through and see if any of those train bits still have their lifting stone, that substance that makes that stuff float.
Okay. So as the others make their way into that first carriage, you fly up and down the train, peeking in the holes to see what you can see. Can you make an insight roll, please?
8. Woo!
Stop rolling crits.
It's better than last game. Last game I didn't roll anything that was good.
Yeah. So yeah, some of the holes let you see into the kind of engineering on these various cabins, and on those ones where you can see in and you can see the lever stones, they have been drained of their magic. Eventually, they'll get it back, and this whole thing will fly up into the sky again, despite being wrecked. But something has temporarily drained the magic from them. As you're looking in the last hole, suddenly a very thin and haggard face sort of looms in from the side and stares right at you with sort of blank, milky eyes and makes that
Jump
groaning sound you've been hearing. Yeah. So,
Run away.
okay, you dart back. They shove their arm through the hole, trying to reach for you and cutting their arm on all the torn metal.
All right. I immediately fly back to Nat. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. There's some weirdo in there over there. You gotta go get him over there.
Okay, just calm down. Go see. Wander over there to see what he's seeing.
With the rest of you following?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So you all traipse up to where Quinn was freaking out about, with Quinn ducking back out of the way. And yeah, you can see a pale arm stuck through the hole in the side of the carriage, reaching out wildly towards any noise or anything that alerts it to the fact that you're there.
Is it as pale as mine?
Yes.
Okay. So
What do you want to do?
is there any other ways to look into or gain entrance into this particular unit?
Yeah, we go through the zombie.
Well, that hole's too small. You could go back down the wagons inside and then move up through the train again until you get to this wagon.
Yeah, that sounds like, a zombie attack. Just waiting to happen.
Let's go do the train to Busan.
Yeah, exactly. So, wow. We really haven't made any money yet. There's no live people. We need to recover stuff. So, shall we go clean house?
It might be alive. It might just be ill.
Okay. How about then? Hey, Quinn. Can you can talk to all kinds of things, right? So, what kind of thing is this?
So I try to talk to it. Hey, you okay?
No matter which of the languages and minor telepathies and whatever you reach out with, all it does is groan. It's as if its mind has been stolen or taken over or suppressed.
Nope, ain't nobody home there.
Okay.
Hey, it's Eclectic Goat.
Yeah.
So are zombie outbreaks kind of common?
No. Zombies have
think
to be
so.
raised by necromancers.
Oh, I was
Oh.
hoping this was going to lead into T-shirts, Ashes Without Number game.
That would be really different.
Yeah. A sky train from another world crashes and unleashes
Brings
a
the
horde of
zombie
anime
apocalypse.
zombies.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's kind of like, when we just throw a plot out the window and just say, fuck it.
Yeah.
This happened. Deal with it.
Well, I'll make my way back to that hole that was made, and I'll start making my way back down to the end of the train where the zombie is.
Oh, holy smokes! All right. Well, I'm gonna go cover his what do they call it? Cover his 6. Right?
Okay.
That's the word,
Well,
right?
I'm following as well because I am one of the warriors.
All right. Okay. Okay. Can Quinn, presumably is tagging along, make an insight roll?
No.
You're not? No? Okay.
No.
Who has the highest
Wait a
insight?
minute. It's a zombie. I'm an 8-year-old. No.
Okay. So you think zombies are cool?
Maybe, but from over here.
All right. So other than Quinn, who has the highest insight?
8.
Mine is just D6s, so I have the lowest out of everyone.
Mine are D6s too.
I guess.
Oh, no.
Neil, are you with us?
I'm here.
What's your insight?
My insight? No. Why would you ask me for my weakest guess still?
Okay.
Hang
Well-
on. Let me try.
Well, mine are
you
8.
need to. You choose the highest person to roll, and then the others assist.
Well, then that
Is
would be
it-
Bao.
I have a D8.
Oh, well then Bao and you have D8s.
Then let Neil and we'll support him.
Okay.
Okay.
So I got a 13 to start with, so anybody
Okay,
add
well,
anything?
that's pretty good then.
I got 7.
Yeah, you need 10.
I got 11.
So there's 14.
Hold on, I need to roll. I need to have that open somewhere, or just use real dice next time. Okay, 1d6. There we go. A 9.
No. So, what about Quinn?
Not there.
He's outside.
Not there.
Yeah,
So
Quinn- Quinn's not going in. There's a zombie.
So we got a 14 total.
Okay, so now pauses a moment while the rest of you are climbing up through the train and crouches down, and you find a fistful of little balls on the ground, kind of loose nests of like thread or hair or something. All
June is almost like, Quinn, why'd you leave your toys out again?
I'm a little confused. What are we looking at?
as you're climbing up, Neil spotted that there's these weird little hairballs everywhere.
Hairballs. Got you. Hairball.
Do they look like they could be eggs?
Do they
Do you want to
look
try and
like
crack
a
one open?
giant cat?
Yeah, let's crack one open.
You pick up one of the bigger ones and sort of tease the hair apart and pull it apart. There are scraps of clothing and
Yep.
teeth
the
and an
gargantuan.
earring and
It's the gargantuans.
yeah, these are bits of person, like
Yeah.
thrown up like an owl pellet.
Oh yeah. What the fuck was that?
I immediately drop all that real quick.
Ew. Wash your hands.
Is there
So,
a sink available?
The War of Gargantuans. That's what it was.
But eventually, clambering up to the train, you do pass through a cabin that's made for people to like wash themselves and so on, so you can wash off your hands there.
Yes.
And now that groaning thing should be beyond this next door. Someone has rammed a mop through the door handles to hold it shut. But you can hear moaning and moving from behind there. It sounds like more than one now.
We're drawing a crowd.
I'm sure they're enjoying the show. She looks down at herself with her underwear, and that's all.
And it's cold down here in the clouds.
All right. So I guess
Well,
the assumption is on the other side of this bulkhead are some sort of revenant style foe. So fire might be a good.
Yes, because we want to set fire on the train we're supposed to bring back intact with their passengers and luggage.
Well, we can't bring it back intact anyway. So
True. So fuck the luggage. Let's burn it all.
All right. So
I
do we
think
wanna
we should try and find the necromancer. Maybe he can clean everything up for us.
You know, I just realized it's a necromancer raising zombies on. We're playing Zombicide, aren't we?
No.
Grim,
Yes.
Quinn has an idea. Him and Drakon fly back up to the ship for a minute,
Yep.
and I get the 2 big bottles.
With the slimes.
Yes, and fly back down.
Okay. Slime grenade.
So okay. I guess we put the tank up front.
Yep.
Like open the door.
I got both shields.
I got 2 shields, one for each of you.
Okay. Well,
We prepare some offensive capabilities in case the worst case scenario is on the other side of that door. What are you going to do, Jim?
I am going to ready my blade and head towards the closest zombie.
Okay.
Alright.
Pick who's the leader for initiative, and everyone else roll. The difficulty for your initiative roll is only 6.
But this is the insight again, right?
No, Dex Insight.
Oh, mine
Who
still.
wants to be the leader? Because I only have a dex of E8.
I got an 11.
There
You got
you
an
go.
8.
Okay. So take the 11 plus
And
1,
I
12.
did not succeed. Oh wait, 7.
Difficulty is only 6. So yeah.
Oh no, I got a 4.
All right. Who wants to go first then? Because it's heroes first. Probably Zerin, since he's at the front.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right. So they drag out the mop from the doors, haul them open. On the other side, there's a handful of what appear to be passengers. One of them, their arm is covered in cuts and bleeding everywhere from where they were trying to reach through and get to Quinn. Yeah, they're kind of blank-eyed, and they look like they're half dead from hunger and thirst. And the moment the mop rattled, they turned and started climbing over each other to get at you, specifically to attack Zerin, since he's at the front. Grabbing up pieces of broken glass, heedless of the cuts to their own hands, bits of wood, cutlery from the dining car, whatever they can find to attack you with.
Oh,
But you're
shit.
first.
The first one's getting hit with the double shields.
Okay, go
Right.
for it. So difficulty is 6, I think.
That's an 18 to hit.
That's very definitely a hit. So how much damage?
That would be 20.
20. Okay. Can you roll a d6 for me and tell me the result, please?
1.
Okay. All right. So as they come charging in towards you, you bring up your shields and smash them. You feel ribs give way under the edges of your shield as they slam into this guy's guts. But despite suddenly sort of barfing up blood from probably a punctured lung and God knows what else, they continue to try and scramble over the shield to get at you. And then it's his turn. So what is your defense?
14.
Okay.
You're not going to penetrate that.
That's what she said.
Yes.
And then I did. Right, they got a 9 to attack, which is a failure, I take it. Yeah, so they scramble on your shield, try to get past it, but you easily keep them on it. Who wants to go next?
I'd like to go next. I
Mhm.
want to hit him with one of my floating script Magisphere, the Null Field. This is a dispel, cancels ongoing magic, and prevents new spell casting. Cost me 10 magic points to cast.
Okay.
My hope is that there's some sort of magical effect going on that's caused them to behave this way with that mindlessness, and that it'll cancel.
Yeah, give me a sec here.
Kind of don't see that happening, but
Got it. Hey,
Give me a sec.
gotta try. I know.
I mean, I build the toys for a reason.
There you go.
Okay, you're going to have to defeat the magic with your magic for this to work.
Okay. So
So-
it's usually like my tinker level plus my initiative, or
this is going to be a roll, so
not
it's going to
initiative,
be
I mean,
yeah,
insight.
it's going to be insight plus willpower.
Okay. That's a total of 11.
Okay. For a brief faltering moment, it seems like they regain their senses. Like the whiteness shifts away from their eyes, but almost instantly comes back. There's just a brief pause in the scrabbling and biting and fighting and stabbing, and then they go right back to it.
Ah,
But you revealed that they're being controlled in some way.
Hey, these folks are not acting under their own accord. They're under the influence of something. We should try to subdue instead of kill.
One slides along the floor, along some rotten food, smacks into Zerin's feet and tries to bite through his armor at his leg, but just ends up breaking a couple of their front teeth on his shin guard. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. So first of all, is there like a mechanic so you can study the weaknesses of the monsters? Or is
There is. It's called a scan action, I think. Oop.
awesome?
Actions on your turn. Study. You attempt to gain information about someone or something. This is usually an insight roll.
Okay. I will attempt to study these monsters and figure out a weakness to them.
Okay. Make your insight roll.
Okay. +1. That's an 8.
Okay. Right, so they have no affinities and they have no specific weaknesses, but if you could find whatever is controlling them and deal with it, presumably they would return to their senses.
Okay, I was hoping there was like a fire weakness or something. Okay.
Right.
I am going to. Well, that's all I can do for this turn, right?
Think so.
Okay, I'll wait then until next turn.
Okay. Another one of them tries to scramble over Zerin's shield and get to him. That's 11. Is that enough to hit you?
Nope, it's 14.
No. Okay. So, nope, no luck. They're just hitting into his shields. It's kind of holding them back. Who's next?
Guess that would be me. All right. We're gonna whip up a little meal for them. This is yep.
Cool.
So this is gonna be. Oh God, I just had it. Bitter and
Meals.
sour.
Hmm.
So
Neil's
each of this,
infamous mock brains recipe.
yes, each of this delicacy's targets suffers from the weak status effect. Plus, this delicacy deals 20 fire damage to each of its targets.
Okay.
Let me see how many targets I can actually hit with that. Oh, wait a minute. This is made with love, so that works only on. Great. So I can actually affect more of my party than I can affect the number of enemies.
So not made with hate then.
Yeah.
So how many can you hit?
Apparently, just one, I guess, because cooking just says this attack deals no. Okay, it says prepared delicacy. You apply its effects to yourself or an ally you can see, or you perform a free attack with a weapon you have equipped. This attack deals no damage, but you apply the delicacy's effects to each enemy hit by the attack. So I basically had to run up there and try to stab one with the chef's knife, and
Yeah. And then they take the food effect instead. Okay. Go for it.
So I got a 9.
A 9.
Actually, it's a 10.
Okay. All right. So you quickly whip the ingredients into the pan. There's a flash of magic that cooks them. You dip your blade in the sauce and duck forward to attack. So how much damage does it do?
Let's see. It's
20, wasn't it?
it's 9 points of damage, and then it's 20 points of fire, and then it's weakness.
Do you want to hit the one that's already been hit or one of the others?
We'll hit a fresh target. I think I do enough damage. I can probably take one down all by myself.
Okay, so 9 base damage, 20 fire, and weak. Okay.
If it survives, it's weak.
Yes. Can you roll d6 and tell me what you get, please?
8d6. Yes, I can. 2.
Okay. Right. The peppercorns sear into the creature's flesh, but they seem undeterred, despite the horrible wounds that your cooking has inflicted upon them. All right. Since you came forward to attack, the next one tries to attack you. What is your defense?
It's an 8.
You are struck.
I'm gonna take that.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you have to spend some points for that?
Nope, not for
No.
this one.
Okay. Let me just figure out the damage. 14 damage. So yeah,
It's protect. When another creature is threatened by an attack, spell, or danger, you may take their place. Any checks that are part of the danger will be performed against you. You may declare the use of skill before or after the checks have been made. If the dangers already affects you, you take it twice. So basically, they have to roll against my hit.
Well, you came in after the attack roll was made, which means you take the hit. So that's,
Okay.
So that's 14 life points of damage.
Okay, which I reduce by. Is it dark damage?
No, it is
Physical?
just basic physical damage. Yep.
Okay,
So,
so I reduce that by 5, so that's 9.
Baron, do you see the item that I put into the chat?
Resistance.
Yeah, the other shield. Where'd
Correct.
you put? Yeah, I'm gonna trigger that.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay, so that
I wanna
drops the
make-
damage to 7, then you reduce it by 5, which means you take 2 points of damage. Okay. And you have a small salad fork embedded in the top of your head. It's picking up radio signals. Right. Is anyone left? Don't think so.
Nope.
Just Quinn.
All right. He's outside.
Yeah.
Well, does Quinn want to do anything?
Yeah,
You can
if
hear.
I'm back to the ship or to the train thing,
Yeah.
I want to
Wait,
fly
wait.
in, and then
Sorry.
I'm going to release the 2 oozes and tell them, "Oh, look, I got lots of stuff for you to eat. See all these little piles of fluff and stuff? Can you clean them up?"
Okay. Right. I will deal with that in a minute.
Real quick on Zaren's turn, when he took 2 points of damage, his shield activated, creating a shockwave that pushed all enemies in the same zone 1 zone away. So everything
Wow.
got put to the opposite end of the door of the train.
So that's once per scene. Yeah. All right. So yeah, they all get shoved tumbling back, and one picks themselves up. Right. New turn. A player gets to go first. Who wants to go first?
I'll go ahead and go first. I'm going to push in
Yeah.
and try and keep them away from everybody else.
I may be able to help you with that because I want to go next.
So
Do you want to smack one of them, or
Yeah, I'm going to try and smack one and knock it back.
Okay, go for it.
That's just a 10.
That's still a hit. How much damage?
That's 18.
18. Okay. All right. The one that got up first and started running back down the carriage, you sort of lumber forward, meet them halfway up, and smack them, backhand them with the shield, throwing them back into the pile of bodies at the other end. All right.
Yeah.
The rest of them start to scramble up and throw themselves at you. That's a miss. Okay, who wants to go next?
I will
I
go
do.
next.
I do.
Oh, never mind. You go.
I going to cool.
Yeah, you said you had a plan.
Well, no, I have a good set of hand. I have a good hand.
Oh.
So, all right. So I'm going to play the Blinding Flush, which is 4 cards of consecutive values. So I deal damage equal to 15 plus the total value of the resolved cards, which is, excuse me, let's see, 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. Yeah, see, it's a good hand. So that totals up to 37 points of damage to each enemy present on the scene. This type of damage is light.
Light damage. Okay.
Yes.
37 points.
Mm.
Okay, there's a blinding blast of light as Neil holds up his cards, and they dissolve into.
Read them and weep.
3 of these poor souls dissolve away in the bright light, leaving nothing but shadows on the wall. The remaining 2 are very, very badly hurt. And how many can you affect?
It says every
All those
enemy
zones?
present on the scene.
Okay, can you roll d6 twice for me, please?
Okay. I'm going to add them together.
Just tell me the results on each one.
3 and a 5.
Okay. One of them stops groaning in that zombie-like fashion and instead shrieks in a very human-like fashion. My eyes! The goggles, they do nothing.
The goggles?
Simpsons reference. Okay. The one that hasn't briefly snapped out of it charges directly into the light and tries to tackle Niel. But only rolls a 5, so misses, probably due to being blind. Okay, who wants to go next?
I will go next, and I will attack the closest zombie with my sword.
Okay. Stabbity, roll to attackity.
Mm-hmm. So that is Dex plus Might or Might plus Might?
Whatever it says on your sheet.
Oh, there it is. Just notice that. Will plus Dex. Okay, so D8 plus D8. So the dice rolling chart. Okay, 1d8 plus 1d8. That's an 11.
That's a hit. How much damage?
Damage is HR plus 15, so that would be 7 plus 15, so 22 damage.
Okay. So the one that attempted to break past Zerin and attack Niel instead gets your sword across his guts and collapses, almost cut in 2, which leaves just the one who is stunned at the moment. So all he does is stop being stunned and his eyes glaze over again, and from whining about the pain he starts just groaning angrily. Who's next?
I think I'm the only one left, so I'm trying to look around and figure out what is causing the influence over these folks. So I'll do a little insight plus my whatchamajiggers, 4 and 4 plus 1, 9.
Nah, no idea.
Yeah.
It's not anything you've ever encountered before. Right. from behind you all, there is a gurgling, glooping sound, and a pair of blobs from the bathhouse come boiling out of the carriages behind you, wash around and over you like a sticky and very, very intimate tidal wave, and absorb the remaining zombie. You briefly get a look at their stunned expression as they're sucked into the blob, and then they dissolve away inside it. The blobs sit there making bloop noises at each other. The train behind you looks very clean and sparkly.
Yeah. So that means the door in front of us is unobstructed.
Yes.
Who wants to do this again?
No, I'm ready.
Let's do it. I got your 6. So, next door.
Yeah. Again, you pull aside the improvised blockade and wrench open the doors. Beyond here is the last cabin before the navigation deck. And whatever was in here has been completely ransacked. There's lots of very important looking sort of Magitech equipment here, like containment systems and coolants and things like that. But whatever they were holding and cooling and storing is no longer there. There is a loud honking sound like a deafening foghorn, and the whole train rattles, and a red light seems to be seeping in from outside.
Oh, no.
This is not good.
No.
Look outside.
But you are outside, aren't you? I
No,
want to.
I'm the one who let the blobs in.
Be right back, Grim.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
What do I think may have been in these containment containers?
Make a quick roll with your alchemy bonus.
Yeah, so awesome. 10, 11, 5, 5, 11, 1. And then what do I think I can snag as useful?
Well, all of this kit is useful, so you should steal as much as you can. Right. Some kind of medical equipment, either a potion that needed to be kept at a particular temperature, or stored blood for transfusions, that sort of thing, or perhaps some sort of biological experiment or disease. It's hard to tell, but it's meant for storing biologically sensitive samples for long periods, safely and stably. That someone's taken whatever was in there. Yeah.
All right. Well, so fellas, ladies, there was some, whether this was a medical device, or there were medicines, or there were bioactive things that eat your face off. That's what was kind of going on here.
There's another.
These cases back, they'll give us a partial reward.
There's another deafening foghorn sound, even closer this time.
Oh, what's that?
And then there's a crackling and a voice over a loudspeaker. Ahoy, salvage crew.
Ahoy! Voice crackling.
Are you here looking for survivors and cargo?
That's what salvage is. Yes, that's what we're doing.
I have some of the survivors aboard. If you have a vessel to return them home, they would be most grateful.
We do. We're most grateful for you having them.
How do we know you're not the necromancer?
What?
What? Well, you'll have to take my word for it. another
rigging
voice.
is completely different than a necromancer's. He's got the rigging of a Greek olive merchant.
Another voice cuts in, a woman's voice. This is Dr. Vis Ranar. Presumably you're from the Mistline Company. I would very much appreciate being taken home. Thank you.
Well,
Excellent.
now we can't
We're
take
here
her
too.
home.
So let's gather as much loot as we can.
Grim, what did we see when I looked outside?
Yeah, so you scoot over and look outside. A big rock island with an old-style shogunate fortress atop it, with many, many glowing red lights on the outside of it and red searchlights and so on, has hovered and moved closer and is just sort of standing off this mountainside.
So it came down here where we were having trouble getting to?
Yep. You think this may have been that red light you saw in the clouds before.
Ahoy the rock!
Can you smell what I'm cooking?
Do you smell what the rock is cooking?
Please do come aboard. You can retrieve the good doctor and the other surviving passengers.
Excellent. Well,
It's very nice of you.
let's go do that.
The island floats a little closer, and then a bridge extends out until it hits into the side of the mountain, and you're able to walk across. And with that, we shall take our 10, 15-minute break. Any preference?
15.
15.
15? Okay, so we shall be back in 15 minutes or so, and hopefully people will stick around to watch us. See you in a minute.
real Grim. What are we gonna do?
Grim, that's how it looks.
I'll take Grim right now.
I am the Grim Reaper.
Bit grim. Some bosses are good.
And make it grim.
A grim tale indeed.
It's a little grim. Meaningless and grim.
It's the Grim! It's Grim.
Pretty grim, huh?
Things look grim.
Hopefully everyone's back.
Yep.
I'm here.
I am also here.
All set.
Let me put that music back on in the background. Okay, let me know if it's too loud. All right. So yes, an invitation to the castle has been extended to you all.
That's creepy.
The floating castle.
Yes, and it drops down a bridge, and they appear to be waiting for you.
Who do they appear to be? They've never really truly identified themselves.
I would
No.
guess Shogunate from the flags flying.
Yeah, but the fortress looks to be in a very old shogunate style.
Not the new shogunate style.
No,
Okay.
there's still some high-tech stuff like the red spotlights,
Right.
and yeah, it's a steerable island, which doesn't happen that often.
But they're not like in power armor and
No. So as you're sort of standing there waiting to figure out what to do, I suppose, you see a couple of floating platforms emerge from the castle. There are men in red lacquered samurai armor with golden masks standing on the platforms. They don't seem to be hostile. They're just sort of standing there, keeping an eye on you while their platforms hover around.
No, I'll head up the ramp.
Yeah. We head up the ramp. I do a nice little salute. Permission to come aboard.
The samurai barely acknowledge you. There are no safety rails on the bridge, so it's a little bit vertigo-inducing.
So does that mean that this takes place in the same universe as Gore and Star Wars?
A true Gorian does not need handrails. It's a test of your bravery. At the top, lurk another couple of these samurai in armor. They point to you and then point inside, and they start to march somewhat slowly, so that you can keep up.
I point at them and pointed inside.
They turn and march in perfect lockstep.
All right, I'm following in asynchronous lockstep.
Walk without rhythm so you don't attract the worm. All right. Inside, it is quite dark. Magical candles light up as you pass them and then extinguish as you pass on. This level is sort of like a mezzanine level. Down below seems to be a big square, almost a ballroom, perhaps. And you can see people dancing down there, but the music is quite loud. There's a string quartet playing, veiled and thickly dressed and bound around with black cloth as they play some sort of waltz quite old-fashioned, and the people are dancing away to it. The guards lead you around the outside of this mezzanine level and then up into the upper rooms of the castle, which are more closed off. It's a bit of a maze of corridors and rooms, but they seem to know where they're going. You catch glimpses through doorways as you pass of library rooms and observatories and a sort of lab filled with specimens in jars and all of that sort of thing. You think you're ascending further, but it's hard to tell because sometimes it steps and sometimes it slopes. But eventually you seem to reach a high room in the castle. The guards stop and fall into position either side of the door. It's a double door covered in that sort of indented Chesterfield red leather.
I'll knock.
It makes a soft noise because it's leather. You change it.
Open.
Okay, you're about to knock the frame when Bao pushes the door open. Inside is a quite luxurious study. There are big cabinets lining the walls, cabinets of curiosities with all manner of strange things in them, things collected over lifetimes, like fish with 2 heads, and a pure black chicken stuffed and mounted, and weird minerals and fluids and all sorts of oddities.
So I push open the door, enter the room with my normal flair, and I'm immediately distracted by all the cool things on the wall.
Yes, it's a trap for ADHD.
How tall is the ceiling?
The ceiling is about 15 feet up, and there is a big candelabra stuffed with red candles, which seem to be dripping, but no wax ever seems to reach the floor. Behind an enormous black wooden desk on the other side is a rather imposing gentleman. He has pitch black hair that falls to his waist. He is wearing a black and gold kimono flopped down over one arm, with a fine silk underclothing underneath that. He stands up as you come in. Welcome.
Oh, I turn around and I salute real quickly and say, thank you for letting us come aboard and help reclaim the folks that you have rescued. And if you just lead us to them, we'll take them home and be on our way.
Of course, but there's no hurry. Surely, I so rarely get visitors.
But there is a hurry. These folks have people at home who are concerned about them, and we need to get them back.
They have been very well cared for. Food, drink, entertainment. I have lavished my wealth upon them. But so rarely do I get news from outside, and yet so much all in the course of a few weeks. But you are much more interesting than the passengers on that sky train.
You get news. You get news only every once in a while. You look like goth Santa Claus. You should go like all around the world and get information.
I am busy in my explorations, so politics and culture, these sorts of things pass me by. What news from above the clouds?
We fought a big whale, and we had to go in it shit to get out.
Yeah. That's old news. That's not fresh news.
He hasn't heard it.
You don't know that.
Indeed, I have not.
Yeah.
I know they hunt sky whales, but one of that size, and you brought it low.
Well, no, Niao made this super duper
guy over here did it.
Disgusting stuff that we had to go get stuff from the poop in order for him to make it, and then he fed it to it, and then it upchucked everybody. It was gross.
Yeah, I killed a leviathan with my food. Not something I usually like to advertise, but
well,
he doesn't serve that dish in the restaurant, though.
Yeah, I don't serve it in the restaurant.
That's good to hear. Only slightly less poisonous things.
So I still have a concern. You were really evasive about when I said, "Hey, we just want to get everybody gathered up and leave." And I at no point had implied that you hadn't been taking good care of them, but you seemed really concerned to ensure that I knew that you had been. And to me, that's evasive.
Well, my concern is merely that I don't want to be parted from my guests too
Part of
quickly.
Bao will be played by Bella Ramsey today.
Who's that?
Let me find a picture.
Okay. Right. See, and that was another phrase that concerned me. Could you say that again?
Bella
I
Ramsey?
so rarely get guests. I am reluctant to part company with them so swiftly.
Yeah.
Here you go, Grim.
Oh, I've never seen that picture before. Never
Yeah.
let them forget how stupid this is.
Yes.
The person on the right was meant to be playing the character on the left.
Yes. And she did a terrible job.
Understood.
And I will never forgive them.
Bastards.
So, Mr. Goth Santa Claus, like, do you like just hang out here, or do you get ships and ship? You know, like you don't seem to have a lot of place for food and agriculture or nothing. How do you eat down here?
I'm sorry, what is your name, boy?
Quinn. I'm Quinn.
Quinn.
And that's Draco.
Dracon. A
Yeah.
fine beast. I am Hakushako Ladrak.
Good night.
Hakalaka chikawa?
So anyone who's
Don't
had
be rude.
dealings with the shogunate knows that a Hakushaku is like a lord, basically. A minor lord.
Shaku.
Hakushaku.
Hakushaku. Okay. So you're part of the shogunate?
Technically, I suppose. I tend to my own kingdom, such as it is, this humble castle in which you find yourselves. And I travel around, uncovering curiosities, exploring beneath the clouds, finding things that other people aren't necessarily so interested in.
I can
June
empathize.
says, hey, wait a second. Crew, let's head over to this quarter over here. Just let us talk for a second. We'll be right back here. Don't worry.
What?
Rude.
Does June say that while she's still naked, except for her pants?
Yes.
just want to paint that picture for a minute.
But he takes off his covering, his kimono. He's got like a smaller sort of house coat thing underneath, and hands it to Jun. Please cover yourself, my lady.
Thank you. I put it on.
It's way too big for you.
It's
You
better
look
than
like-
nothing.
Yeah, you look like Quinn wearing some of Zarin's clothes.
Which he has done multiple times.
Probably.
Okay. So you are interested in exploring. We're interested in exploring too.
Yeah, but Jun is
Interesting
ushering
thing.
you into the corner to huddle.
What if
Yeah.
she says this? She says this quiet. Let's speak quietly. Come on. What if we take him captive, take him prisoner, kill all his guards, and then ransom him back to Shogunate for a high price?
You want to kill all the guards? What do you mean?
He just laughs, thinking it's a childish prank.
Well, what do you guys think?
I don't understand your motivation other than being bloodthirsty.
I think
Get more
well, I
coin.
mean-
We need more coin, don't we? We need to build a fleet.
We're
We need coin to do
working
that.
on it. I mean, I'm guessing the other folks could also explain why that might not be a good idea. No, I don't think it's a good idea.
I don't think it's a good idea. I think there's probably a lot more going on here than we understand at this point. So,
But the bad ideas always are the most fun.
Hey, Mr. Goth Santa Claus, do you know how come? Do you know?
Loudrak, Mr. Quinn. My name is Loudrak.
Okay. So do
Wait
you
a minute,
know?
wait.
Do you know what brought
Lao?
the train down?
Lao, yes.
Do you know what brought the train down?
Sorry, Mr. Quinn, what was that?
Do you know what brought the train down?
I am afraid I have no idea, nor do any of the passengers. Some strange
Yeah,
beast.
where are those passengers?
They're down in the feast hall, enjoying themselves.
is that the dance going on down below?
Quite. I thought I should lay on some entertainment. They've had a horrible time.
Did you know that those little the gems that keep the boats afloat, they were all drained of their lifting power?
Ah, perhaps a fluctuation in the magical fields. These things happen sometimes. We've lost power, and this castle has almost sunk several times while we've been exploring. Perhaps they just ran into a natural fluctuation and crashed down into the cloud sea.
Nah. I don't think that's the right answer. Huh. I just got a itchy feeling for some reason.
Maybe you need a shower.
I might.
We all could use one. We've been on the boat for a while.
We need to
I
get
was,
like a water tank on the boat so we can have showers installed.
Just find a rain cloud and sail under it.
So, Mr. Santa Claus, like, could we help?
Mr. Loudrak.
Do you need anything?
Hakushaku Loudrak. Lord Loudrak, perhaps.
Okay, Santa Claus, do you need any help?
Do I need any help?
Yeah,
Well-
you got all these people standing around and you're trying to take care of them. Well, maybe you need to have someone go get something for you so you got enough food for them and stuff. I mean, it must get expensive.
My staff are taking good care of them. I was about to grab a late meal with the doctor.
You got cake?
We have cake. Yes.
Cake! I want cake!
Okay, calm down. And perhaps we can make some cake available to you.
Okay, we'll go get cake.
Well, allow me to get properly dressed again, and then I shall meet you in the dining hall. Simply ask the guards to escort you there.
Okay. Guys, I'm going to get cake. See ya. I don't have to walk down the stairs. I just fly.
But you don't know the way.
Yeah, but you said we walked around a circle where we overlooked it.
That was the feasting hall, but that's not where he said to go. He told you to talk to the
Yeah.
guard.
But that's where I assume he's going. So I'm going there.
Okay. All right. So you fly out and then down through the big hole in the middle of the castle. What are the rest of you doing while Quinn dashes in without thinking, as usual?
Apologizing for his behavior.
Boys will be boys.
Talk to the guards and say, "Excuse me, Lord Loudrak has instructed us to go to the dining hall, and you're to escort us if possible."
And just nods and then starts marching down the corridor, assuming you will fall in and follow him.
Yes.
Yes,
All right, so we'll deal with Quinn, and then we'll come back to the dining hall. All right, so Quinn flies down through the castle and down into the feasting hall. There is indeed a lot of food set up, though it's surprisingly basic fare once you get to look at it. No cake, simple bread, cheese, goblets of water. The plates and the cutlery and the cups are all very high quality, certainly, but the food is rather plain and dull. The people are all dancing.
I go up to one of them as they're dancing. Hey, Mr. Goth, Santa Claus said that there was cake. You know where the cake is?
They dance past you.
Go try to catch up to another one. Hey, do you know where the cake is?
Again, they ignore you and carry on whirling around in their embrace as they dance.
I imagine it's before we find out that all the dancers are ghosts and these people
How
have been
come you
dead
don't
for
want to talk to me? I grab one of them by the arm and try to drag him off the dance floor. Come here, talk to me for a minute. Where's the cake?
Quinn assaults people.
You pull him out of position. His dance partner spins off, loses her balance and topples and hits into some of the other dancers. And yeah, just chaos all around you. Human dominoes as they continue to whirl and dance and trip over each other and fall until everyone is on the ground, but the music plays on.
Hey guys, where's the cake?
Nobody says a word. They just slowly pick themselves back up, form back into couples, and when the beat hits right, they all start to dance again.
I look around. Where's this weird music coming from?
There's a string quartet on a slightly raised platform, all draped and swathed in black cloth.
I go fly up by them, look at them.
They do not react to your presence. They just continue to play.
They look normal?
You can't really tell. They're like mummified in black cloth with veils over their faces.
I whisper to Drakon, do they smell right?
Don't smell of anything.
Oh, I think there's something going on. I better tell them, yeah. So I go fly off and look for now.
Okay, and Drakon swoops up after you. Yeah, you're able to zero in on the others, but they've had a little bit of time before you get there.
Yep.
So, where's the doctor? Okay, the guard escorts you to the dining room, and you're brought in. There is a roaring fire burning at one end, a couple of high-backed chairs at either end of a not quite comedically long table, along with a whole bunch of other seats. Staff, swathed in black cloth like the musicians you saw down below, are bringing in dishes and setting them up and laying out the cutlery and so on. There is a woman in here, maybe in her mid-40s, perhaps, from looking at her. She has a long grey streak running from one temple. Quite a striking woman in a white military outfit from the shogunate. With a, if you've got an experience with them, which you do, from the pips and insignia, she is a captain in their medical corps. She gives you a sort of forced tight smile and a nod in greeting as you come in.
So, you're the doctor, huh?
Yes, Dr. Visrenar, bioalchemist.
The train.
I was on the train, yes.
What happened?
We don't know. We just came out of the sky all of a sudden and hit that mountain, which may go all the way to the surface, perhaps.
I don't understand. That doesn't make sense. Can you explain to me what happened?
I was in my cabin. All of a sudden, there was a yawning sensation in my stomach, and we fell out of the sky.
Do you think that there could have been any potential magic that could have caused that?
It would have to be extremely powerful to affect all the cars at once.
Well, what do you think could have done that?
A mana storm, perhaps, or a powerful magician.
Was there a mana storm happening?
I can't say that I noticed. I was engrossed in my work.
Well, that would be pretty engrossing work to miss a mana storm large enough to knock you out of the sky. So let's assume that you weren't, completely oblivious to like that kind of apocalyptical event, and that then what kind of magic or which magician do you think could have done that?
An elementalist specializing in air magic, perhaps? Or an earth elementalist able to draw the Aerion from the rocks we use to levitate, perhaps? But I do not think you are one to judge another's
We ran
obsession.
into people that were draining Aerion from rocks a while back. What an interesting coincidence.
Yes, I heard the Salvage Guild were involved in such things. And your guild is obsessed with explosions, are they not?
We're not obsessed. We just do it.
Monomaniacal. A whole guild based around explosions. It's something.
My guild's about cooking.
What is your guild?
I am a bioalchemist. Healing, guided mutation, refinement of the human form, refinement of the animal form, advancing the knowledge of our own bodies and minds.
What about crossbreeding?
What about it?
Have you done any of that?
There have been experiments. It's not my department.
What is your department?
Top secret.
So why aren't you downstairs dancing with the rest of the members of the rescue?
His lordship finds me more stimulating company than the other passengers, doubtless due to my tremendous intellect.
Doubtless.
And we share loyalties.
Oh, what are those?
To the shogunate, of course.
Oh, of course. What does that entail? Because I come from these slums in the middle of nowhere. We know about the shogunate, but the last time they came our way, I think the fleet just disappeared. But, that had nothing to do with the explosions along the way.
I'm sure. Still, we are inevitable.
So you are eager to return with us back with the rest of the rescued folk?
Yes, as soon as I can.
Then what are we waiting for?
Dinner. And as if on cue, the door opens and his lordship enters, flanked by a couple of his guards, redressed in a kimono exactly the same as before. Thank you for waiting. I do apologize. There were some things that needed my attention. And he takes his seat at the head of the table. Please, sit. Don't stand on ceremony. Help yourselves. Mr. Quinn, cake.
Am I back now?
Yes.
I'll try the food.
Yeah, as soon as I get back, I go whisper in Neil's ear. Yeah, there's something weird going on. The people, they're all like not responding, like those people with the tree, like our crew at the tree.
Oh boy. All right. Well, just hang tight, Quinn. Let's have some food and figure out what the hell's going on later.
Maybe we shouldn't have the food if that's the case.
Well, remember, you can't hear me. I whispered in his
Damn
ear.
it.
Right up close.
Stop metagaming, June.
Can Neil make a insight roll, please?
He could try to. I don't know if he can actually do it, but we'll try. DC?
Too much wine already. DC for you is only going to be a 7.
Oh, okay. Well, then a 9 makes it.
So all the dishes are on the table. They're all very old-fashioned shogunate dishes. You tend to find shogunate cuisine rather boring compared to your home cuisine. There's only so much you can do with raw fish and rice. There's ingredients. It doesn't really go a long way, particularly. And they tend to like their noodles more plain than you like them. But this stuff is more old-fashioned, a little heartier, a little closer to the cuisine of Sampang and its surrounding islands. So this is actually a bit better, but it's weirdly old-fashioned and out of style for the shogunate.
Your food is kind of how you say it's like old-fashioned, traditional, but you have made some improvements with some new foods and some new spices and things. So it is kind of a fusion. It is very interesting.
Yes, I'm something of a historian, and I think history is best lived to better understand where we come from and therefore where we're going. The flavors and combinations of the past can tell us a lot. For instance, the skyweed in that recipe is only found in the equatorial region, while the shogunate these days is confined to the more northerly latitudes, which suggests that this cuisine was introduced from somewhere else, or that the ancient shogunate's empire extended further south than previously thought, or that we may have perhaps not been separate and distinct from the empire that gave rise to your homeland, if I gather your accent correctly.
Well, yeah, I am from Sampang. I am noodle maker. And you know what I say? Umami is the king of flavor.
Perhaps. I do love Sampang. So bustling, so full of life. But yeah, as I say, please don't stand on ceremony. Help yourselves. And he starts picking things for his plate.
June is stuffing her face.
Jesus Christ. Ladies. Flesh is willing, but the spirit is willing, but the table is spongy and broken.
I take a piece and then hand it down like I'm going to hand it to Drakon, and then I whisper in Dragonese to Drakon, does it smell good? Does it smell like it's right?
Smells okay.
No poison?
No poison. Wait, I'd better taste it just to be sure.
I'll have taste it.
No, not safe. Let me taste it for you. Make sure.
I give it to him. I'll taste it.
Okay.
Give him a big ass piece.
Not sure. Need another piece to be sure.
Give him another piece.
There's something. Give me some more.
I give him another piece.
He will keep stringing it out until you.
I know that, but
or run out of cake.
I don't care.
All right, you feed the entire cake to Drakon.
No poison though.
No, but I'm very full.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a fish here though. You know what the fish?
Yes. Give me the fish.
I give him the fish.
Half of the night, another bite.
He just kind of flops over with his head on the floor with the fish's tail sticking out of his mouth.
Perhaps a breath mint.
It's only a wafer thin.
Wafer thin mint.
You don't want a dragon to explode under the table. That would be bad for everyone. So you're from Sampang. Zerin, was it? I believe someone called you that. You, very strange. Very different. and a member of the Boom Boom Guild. You're an odd crew.
We are successful. We are successful, though. Dangerous, even.
Well, I shall have to take your word for it. After all, I've not been able to talk with anyone in
Mr.
quite some
Santa
time.
Claus, Mr. Santa Claus, how come all the people down in the dining room are in the ballroom are dancing like puppets, and they don't talk and they're not acting right, and if they fall down, which they did, they just get up and keep dancing? It ain't right. There's something weird going on.
Are you sure that's right, little boy?
I'm positive.
He doesn't make stuff up, oddly, for a boy of his age.
That's very strange. Perhaps they just didn't like being bothered and called the wrong name. Perhaps that is all it is. They had a very traumatic time. They may have had a little too much to drink. We can go down and talk to them after dinner if you like.
You shouldn't do that.
What shouldn't you do?
Allow you to have us go somewhere else right now. We should sit here and hammer out what's going on before things get a little theatrical.
Oh,
because some of us just grew up in the gutter, and we don't care about formality. What we care about is when people are evasive and they lie to us. And I feel really uncomfortable about this whole you not letting us talk to the survivors. Now Quinn says he went to talk to the survivors and they wouldn't talk to him.
Would you like to go and talk to them right now?
Wow, they were acting just like the people at the tree.
Do you know what that means? You know what happened at the tree there, guy? At the tree, people's minds were taken over. And you know what we did? Guess.
You let me burn the place down. It's my favorite thing.
I was going to say blew it up, but burnt it down works just as well. If you want to interrupt the meal, we can go down and talk to the survivors right now, if you wish.
No. Have some come up here and conversation.
Dr. Rana is a survivor. You can talk to her.
No. We're very clear about folks downstairs coming upstairs and having a conversation about how grateful they are for you rescuing them.
Very well. Guard, would you fetch a couple of our guests and bring them up to talk to their saviors? Thank you.
And I'm going to do an insight. These guards seem to be actual human beings or automatons.
Okay. Let's make your insight
roll.
roll.
Rolled a 12, 8, and a 4. So I figured it would look pretty peculiar for me to pull out my tools right now.
Sorry, what did you get in total?
12.
12. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they seem a bit automaton-like to you. Like their movements are synchronized. Even when they're not marching together, any movements that they make seem to be in time with each other. And the one guard marches out to fetch the guests.
Gotcha. And do they look like perhaps they could be some sort of bioalchemical amalgamation of a...
They're completely encased in old-fashioned samurai armor with golden masks, so you can't really see.
Gotcha. All right.
Well,
so Those guards of yours seem like an interesting construct. How much did it cost to build them?
Oh, they're not built. I inherited them,
grow 'em?
you might say.
Say
No,
again?
no. I inherited them.
You inherited them.
Yes.
How
But
old
that
are
means
they?
Oh, I know it's women you're not supposed to ask, but it's also rude to ask a gentleman his age.
Well,
Okay,
if they're
then how old are those
they must
things?
be. If they're
How old are your constructs?
Let's see. They belong to my great grandfather, so quite old. I don't know
Yeah,
how
that's
long
not
he
a
had them
number.
for. No, I don't know the exact number, I'm afraid. It'll be somewhere in the
Yeah.
records here.
You can't even take a guess. Like how long you've had them?
Well, I've had them as long as I've been alive, which is a certain amount of time. Maybe 100, 150 years old, perhaps.
Okay.
Dr. Rano, have you given any more thought to my suggestion that you stay with me and use the opportunity for your research and mine? Dr. Rana gives another one of those thin-lipped part smiles and says, I will think about it.
Okay. So, I think it's chaos time. I am going to, obviously, at this point, be initiating combat because I am going to toss a dragon's napalm grenade into this dude's lap.
Okay, right. You catch him by surprise. Make a roll to throw it at him.
May I say it wasn't Quinn first this time?
You may. And you may bring that up again and again and again as much as you like.
So it's, I hit a 12.
Okay, well, everyone gain an Ultima point.
Okay.
You mean a Fabula point?
No.
Sorry, yes.
Oh, yeah, Fabula point. Yeah.
If we're gonna make a new system, we better call them like Fabulous Points or something like that.
Fabulous.
So Dragon's Napalm hits a 12. That does 30 points of fire plus 5 burning for 1d4 rounds.
Just to say, you rolled a 12, right?
Correct.
Okay. And it does 30 points of damage?
30 points of fire.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, you all saw him getting more and more spun up and eventually just reach into his bag and go, catch! As he tossed what you all now clearly recognize as a dragon's napalm grenade.
Grim,
Yes?
can I spend a Fabula point to put Zarin in front of that so it doesn't hurt the...
No, but Zerin can.
Yeah, I'll
If
spend
you
a
want
Fabula
to.
point.
Again, wasn't Quinn this time.
Knock that back to bow.
You dropped
Okay,
this.
knock-
Boom.
Knocking it back, can you make a Dex plus might roll?
Quinn. Quinn. Yeah, Graham.
His name's Grim.
16.
Can I have? Can I spend a Fabula point since it's flying through the air to have Drakon snatch it up, like jump? You know,
Because he's immune to fire damage.
bite and swallow.
Okay. Right. In slow motion, Bao reaches into his pouch, pulls out one of these dragonfire grenades, flips the lid off. It starts to burn, sparks and smoke coming out of it as he flings it towards his lordship. His lordship moves to stand, and as the grenade gets about halfway there, Zerin stands up and whacks it with his shield, sending it back towards Bao. Then Drakon's head comes up and goes, boom! And there is a muffled bang from beneath the table.
Yeah.
So is he resistant or immune to fire
He's
damage?
immune. He just burps.
Yeah. And there's a burp and some sulfurous smoke comes out. His lordship finishes standing up and points an accusatory finger at Bao. This is how you repay me for my hospitality. Rescuing people from a wreck. I invite you aboard. I treat you well. I dress your friend. I
You
put on
lie
food
to
for
us. You evade questions. You act suspiciously. Yeah, that's what.
And that is worth flinging a bomb at me?
Well, how else do I get your attention to let you know to quit fucking around with us and lying?
I think it's time we need to leave.
Yep, let's leave.
Yes.
Thank you for the lovely dinner.
Get out of my castle. I will return the castaways myself.
See, this is. Now, I'm telling you, this is not an appropriate response. You should have brought those people to us right away. Your evasion has shown you to be an adversary.
Oh, go and blow something up, you brat.
Okay.
Guards, escort them out.
I know this is
mouse,
metagaming, but we did receive an Ultima point or Fabula point for attacking him. So, out of character, we know he is the villain. So
That's some metagaming there.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying out of character. I'm not saying we have to act on it. Just saying it is possible that he is the villain.
No. Look. So yeah.
Right now that final point was for Bao, I think.
Oh, never mind then.
No, it was for everybody.
Oh,
Just for everybody.
Yeah.
No. I meant it was for Bao being the villain.
So once everybody's out of the room, I'm gonna drop behind me a jade roar shrapnel.
No, you're not. We're not going to leave. You're going out first. Stop.
Why would I go out
Guess-
first?
Get some duct tape and wrap it around his
Everyone knows
Steven
what
bag.
you're gonna do.
Because I will look over at Zarin and say, would you mind carrying his dumb ass out to the ship, please?
Look, it's earth. It's stone here. The shrapnel burst alone will take somebody out.
We're aware of that.
you. 2 guards ahead of you, 2 guards behind. So they start escorting you out.
So be it. Telling you, there are no survivors. There are whatever slaves he has downstairs. And he is not human.
You
He
can't
is
talk anymore.
other than.
He can, it's just nobody's listening.
Yeah.
Grim, when they start walking out, I'm going to fly off over the edge again and go down to the dance hall and see if the people are still dancing or what are they doing.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, so you duck away from the group and over the edge and fly down. All the people have stopped dancing and they're just all staring at you as you come flying down.
Hey, you should come with me. Come this way. Come. Start grabbing people and trying to move them.
They just stare at you and otherwise ignore you.
You have a dragon, Quinn. You could always grab one of them.
Can you hear me?
They show no sign of having heard you.
Are they still holding hands like they were when they were dancing or no?
No, they're all standing individually.
And how many are there? There's like a lot of them, right?
You have a flying forklift. I think you can grab at least a couple.
I know.
So I have to try and figure out how many people would be on a train. It seems like too many. Okay, there's maybe 50 people.
Okay. Are there long tapestries along these ceilings? These high, like, hanging down?
There's candelabras hanging down from above.
No, I mean on the walls. Like, are there those?
Oh, on the walls.
Tapestries.
There are paintings, big paintings on the walls, not tapestries.
Are they made of material, or like are they on cloth, or
canvas wood frames?
That would work. I'm looking for something that's a rope, basically. Do I see anything in here like that?
There's some curtains over the windows which could be used as sort of rope if you like twist them around like you're going to snap someone with a towel.
How long are they, though?
Oh, long, very big, tall, like church windows.
Okay, so I'll grab one of those off the wall and give one end to Drakon, and I'll take the other end and do the, like from the back side of the crowd, go fly around them on opposite directions, and then drag them out the door.
Okay.
With Drakon doing most of the pull.
Yes, can you both make might rolls, please, with Drakon as the lead?
And then Drakon gets a bonus here. So with Drakon's bonus, because to any of his physical shit, he gets +8. So that gives him 8, 19.
Gives him some absurd number.
19, 27.
And did you succeed?
And I got 6.
Okay, so no. But Drakon's strong enough in himself. Okay, you can't scoot out the door because they're down a level from ground level. What you do manage to do is get... Sorry, was it 27 in total?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought the door was on this level.
Okay, you've scooped up a good half dozen of them in the curtain. They're so tangled around it that you and Drakon are able to heft them outside, tangled up in that curtain as they struggle. So you swoop over the heads of the others and the guards. The guards clock what you're doing and go for their swords. You all hear the crowd down below let out a howl of anger in unison, and they grab up cutlery and whatever else they can and begin to surge up the stairs like a World War Z zombie horde.
Oh, that's frightening.
Sadly,
And I
not
think,
as cool as the original World War Z book, but
and I think we'll leave that as a cliffhanger for next time.
Well, shit.
Yes. T-shirt. When do you think you'll be ready to run your games?
I'm still waiting on the books, the book to show up, because usually, like, before the book gets mailed out, the PDFs go out, so it's be kind of close to the end of July, but...
Is it Ashes you're waiting for?
Yes, I'm waiting for Ashes.
Yeah, I backed that one too.
I
Of course you did.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. We nearly hit 100 viewers tonight, which is good. I guess because everyone's at home. I don't know.
Do we get experience for that?
Yes. 5 experience, and then I'll give you the adventure bonus stuff after the next session.
Okay.
Which should be next week.
So that brings all up to 7.
What about for spending Fabula points?
Yeah, I blew 4 of them.
Who else blew any?
2.
I spent 1.
I got
That's
spent
10.
1.
So that's
Yeah,
8.
it's
So
couple
that's
more.
another 2 experience each.
So
Okay.
9 experience total for this adventure.
Ooh, right on the cusp.
That's a
all right.
cliffhanger.
there anything else I need to talk to any of you about?
You bet.
T-shirt, I'll send you that thing for that adventure you're going to do.
Yes.
I just haven't managed to grab 5 minutes to put it together yet.
All right.
So tell everybody what cool things you're doing right now, T-shirt and Grim.
All right. Well,
adventure.
while we've got an audience, okay. Well, the Machinations Quick Start rules and adventure is out for free. You get that at post-mort.com. Link off the front page. We're continuing to work away in the background on a sort of soft relaunch of Machinations, and we might do a new edition in the form of an update rather than a wholesale change.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because Satine's quite keen to redo the cover for a new version. So,
Awesome.
I'm
and
keen to contribute some artwork to it.
Yep. So there will be opportunities there. If you're interested in working for me,
because let me.
if you're interested in, if you're interested in working with or for me, yeah, let me know. Sorry, what?
Her doing a new cover, okay, I think is really interesting because when I listened to her being interviewed, she was very clear that this was like she really didn't know what she was doing other than what she'd kind of been learning on her own, and now she's had a decade of education and experience and insight. I think it's very exciting because I remember, when she was looking at her initial pictures, like she was, a little cringed, but now I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great experience and a great interview.
Yeah, it was. She was on, was it Dracoya and the Pickled Dragon, their show, and they talked about Machinations and how she'd worked on it and how that was like a springboard for her into gaming and stuff. Yeah, it was good. She was kind of getting out of the adult industry at the time, and she'd had an accident, so she wasn't too sure of her art, but helped her get back out of that, which was good. What else have we got going on? There is a new edition of 45, Psychobilly Retropocalypse, in the works. More news on that soon. Various people are doing stuff for Machinations. Someone else is doing some stuff for Grimdark. I am trying to release my iron grip on my IP and game systems and things to let other people do stuff. And then I take their money. Anyone else up to anything?
A percentage.
A percentage. Anyone else up to anything cool recently?
I'm refining my. I'm going to do try another. Try at my metal source book, heavy metal source book, that the Iron Codex here in a couple of months. I'm refining some things. I'm dropping Pathfinder completely from it and just doing all the D&D editions.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
And of course, OSR and stuff. But
yep.
Tuesday morning, we got another Dungeons and Discussions with Grim.
Yep. Don't know what that's going to be about. That's over on T-shirt's channel. My main channel is Postmortem Video. You can find that. Anyone else got channels they want to plug quickly? No?
Nope.
All right. In which case, good night. We shall see you next time. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
One